A man isn't fully fledged until he has a family. Though, that's probably a long way off for you, since you don't even have a girlfriend.
We finally meet again. It's been 20 years.
Since when did people start calling me a workaholic? Minamoto, you did a great job again this time. I have high expectations for you. It's an honor. I'll continue to do my best. I'm Masatoshi Minamoto. I bow slightly, accepting my boss's praise. I'm a 28-year-old, working for a mid-sized real estate developer. As a result of just earnestly facing my work, before I knew it, people started whispering that I was the most successful among my peers.
Oh, Masa, where did you get those books?
I borrowed them. Ever since I was little, I've had an incredible thirst for knowledge. I just wanted to know and learn all sorts of things. That desire sprouted in my early childhood. And that didn't change much as I grew up. I studied hard through middle school, high school, and college. Now, as a working adult, I dedicate myself to my job. It was a natural progression for me. So now I'm seen as the top earner among my peers. But lately, a different set of values has been really getting on my nerves. It must be tough for Mr. High Achiever with all those expectations. But you know what? A man isn't fully fledged until he has a family. Though, that's probably a long way off for you, since you don't even have a girlfriend. The guy saying this with a triumphant smirk is Hanta Sakata. He's a mid-level employee who joined the company at the same time as me. He recently registered his marriage with his fiancée, and ever since then, he's been acting all superior like this. Congratulations on your marriage. Now that you have a family, you'll have to work even harder, huh? Ugh. Are you just a sore loser? A married couple is all about supporting each other. I bet you wouldn't understand, though. Sakata, that's enough. Are the documents I asked for ready? Marriage is a wonderful thing, but I won't allow you to get in the way of your colleagues' work. I'm sorry. I'll finish them right away and bring them to you. Don't let it bother you too much. What makes someone fully fledged is just a difference in values. Yes, thank you for your concern. His track record goes without saying, but the boss also never fails to follow up with his subordinates. I can only admire how he manages to attend to every little detail, while carrying so much responsibility. Being fully fledged means having a family, huh? Well, I suppose he has a point. Keeping what Sakata said in the back of my mind, I immediately switched my focus back to work. And then, the situation began to change drastically. Huh? You're being too loud, Sakata. When Sakata raised his voice in surprise, squaring his shoulders, the slightly irritable gazes of commuters pierced us. Why are you going to a matchmaking meeting? Are you that desperate because you're unpopular with women? It's not like that. Stop shouting. I bumped into him at the nearest station this morning, and as usual, he started bragging about being married. In the flow of the conversation, I confessed that I was going to an arranged marriage meeting. Partly because I didn't think it was something to hide, but mostly because he was being so annoying right from the morning. The other party specifically requested me through the higher-ups. They said they wanted an arranged meeting with me. You can spin it however you want, huh? Were you that frustrated about losing to me? Who is the other person? An arranged marriage through the company? There's no way. No, it's not about winning or losing, and I have no intention of disclosing who it is. Yes, I received the matchmaking offer directly from the top. In other words, it's a meeting the higher-ups are very interested in. Sakata keeps making a fuss, yelling, "I knew it was a lie." If he doesn't want to believe it, I don't really care. Minamoto, this is indeed a matchmaking meeting highly desired by the higher-ups. It will have a huge impact on our company, after all. Even so, from my perspective, I want you to prioritize your own feelings. If you want to turn it down, I'll let them know. Seeing me widen my eyes as I looked at the matchmaking profile, my boss gave me the option to decline. He was probably being considerate, knowing that a regular employee like me couldn't possibly turn this down on my own. Thank you, boss. I've gotten this far by dedicating myself solely to work. Even after what Sakata said, I wasn't in a rush to get married. Let alone doing an arranged marriage meeting. I hadn't thought about it in the slightest. I will accept this meeting. I see, if you say so. The boss gave a small smile. I couldn't tell exactly what emotion lay behind it, but I could definitely feel his kindness. This person... Looking at the woman smiling dignifiedly in the matchmaking profile, my heart stirred. I wanted to meet this woman I supposedly didn't know. Thinking something so unlike me, I decided to go through with the meeting. Wanna play together?
Yeah!
It was just one page from my childhood. When I was 5, I used to go play at a newly built park in the neighborhood with my mother. Just kids who happen to be at the park. Before you know it, they're playing together. It's a common sight. That's how he and I met. My ball rolled near where he was reading alone in the shade of a tree. I ran over to pick it up and invited him to play with me while I was at it. It was nothing more and nothing less than that.
You two are playing so nicely. What's that kid's name?
I don't know, but we promised to play again tomorrow.
What? You don't know? Even though you played together for so long?
We played without even knowing each other's names. Looking back, it was a strangely defenseless relationship, something only permitted for children. I didn't think it was anything special, let alone destiny. But now that I'm an adult, I think I understand my mother's confusion over such a vague promise made between kids. It's weird to come to the park just to read.
Is it? It's peaceful reading here. My older and younger brothers are too loud at home.
He often reads books filled with difficult characters that I couldn't read yet. As I watched his profile reading in the sunset-dyed park, I vaguely thought he must be a really smart kid. I want to try reading that too. Seeing me say that, he gave a happy, goofy smile and lent me several books.
I've never been this covered in mud before.
After we finished reading, we played until we were covered in mud. Just from that, his eyes sparkled, and he laughed. You're really weird. That smile was incredibly vivid to me back then, and I couldn't look away. I think I wanted to make him laugh even more. And by this time, my mother had told me to ask for his name, so I found out it was Mizuki.
You haven't been going to the park lately, Masa.
Yeah, I'm done with the park. I've decided to memorize all the kanji in this book. A year passed since then, and suddenly, I couldn't see that best friend I used to play with anymore. No matter how many times I went to the park, Mizuki never came. To begin with, we had just been repeating that vague promise of, see you tomorrow. Ever since then, I started reading and studying as if chasing after Mizuki's shadow. Looking back, maybe that was the origin of my thirst for knowledge. And so, time flowed to the present. I had grown up pouring my heart into my studies and work, and today was the day of my very first matchmaking meeting.
We finally meet again. It's been 20 years.
The very same Mizuki, my nostalgic park friend I used to play with back then, was sitting right in front of me. Well, it really is you, huh? Yes, when I saw the photo and name in the profile, the thought crossed my mind that the other party might be Mizuki. That's why I accepted the meeting, but I have one apology to make here. I'm so sorry. I did think it might be you, but... Well, from back then until the moment I saw the profile the other day, I always thought you were a boy. I thought of you as my best friend, so I'm still a bit confused. I know it sounds incredibly rude, but as kids, we became friends without really paying attention to gender, right? Keeping that excuse to myself, I bowed my head.
I don't mind at all. I actually thought that might be the case.
Huh?
Back then, my hair was shorter than it is now, and my way of speaking was boyish because of how I was raised, right? It couldn't be helped. More than that, I want to apologize for speaking so formally. We finally meet again, and it feels a bit lonely.
Well, that's... After all, there are manners to uphold.
You worry too much. We're going to get married, aren't we? We'll be husband and wife.
Husband and wife?
Oh? Am I wrong? You came to a matchmaking meeting, so isn't that what it means?
That's because I thought it might be you, Mizuki. I thought you were a guy up until just recently, so it's hard to switch gears so quickly.
I see. So you didn't plan on getting married, you just came to see my face. Got it.
I'm so sorry. I have no excuse.
You're still as honest and bad at making excuses as ever. I'm glad.
My heart skipped a beat at her smile. What hasn't changed is your smile, too. And once again, I couldn't look away.
Sorry for teasing you. Of course I won't force you. Well, I do want to marry you, so I'm not going to give up, though. Besides, more than anything, I wanted to see you. I wanted to apologize for what happened back then.
Huh?
About how I suddenly stopped going to that park back then. I was always worried I had hurt you, and it was my biggest regret. I should have said goodbye, but I was afraid I'd cry pathetically if I did, so I couldn't tell you.
Listening to her, I learned that she moved overseas due to family circumstances right after that. It was only natural she couldn't come to the park anymore. Please, don't apologize. Back then, we only ever met through vague promises every day. It would be a lie to say I wasn't lonely, especially since I never got to return the books I borrowed from you. I heard stories about you from my mother over and over, about how when we first met, we played without even knowing each other's names. Yes, the reason I could still remember such a brief moment from my childhood was partly thanks to my mother telling me about it. I didn't know anything about who you were, but I considered you my best friend. We became friends in a completely pure state, stripped of names and status. Thinking about it that way, whether we're best friends, lovers, or husband and wife, whatever we are, maybe we'll be just fine.
Yeah, I think so too. Thank you, Masatoshi.
Let's make a proper promise this time. We're adults now, after all. Back then, we could believe in see you tomorrow, without any basis. Children might be creatures that easily believe in forever.
You're right. So, about our next date.
Was it because we couldn't properly say goodbye back then that my fleeting best friend lingered in my heart for so long? Here you go.
Wow, this brings back memories. You kept it for me?
On our next date, away from the formal matchmaking setting, we were able to talk casually like we did back then. Of course, it's something I borrowed from you, and it's my starting point. And on that day, I brought the book I had borrowed from Mizuki, and was finally able to return it after 20 years.
Starting point?
You know, back then, I couldn't read at all, right? But you were always reading that, and I was surprised 20 years later to find out you were only 1 year older than me. After that, I became more obsessed with memorizing kanji than playing with a ball at the park. With my mother teaching me, I worked hard, because I wanted to be able to read the books you were reading. I guess that was it. I realized that learning things was fun, and my thirst for knowledge just exploded.
Exploded? I see. It feels a bit strange. Back then, it was the ball that was always exploding, right?
Yeah, take my explosion ball. Hey, that's totally unfair.
But it can't catch an explosion ball. It's safe when it hits the face, right?
That doesn't mean you have to bury yourself every time. Now I understand. The fact that you buried yourself back then was proof that you weren't a boy, but a beautiful girl.
Huh? What's that? It sounds like something out of a romance manga.
On another day off, watching the kids grab the ball that had rolled over to me and run off, we spent about an hour reminiscing.
That park isn't there anymore, is it?
Yeah, it's gone.
It's been 20 years since then, after all.
That's right, the park where we had met had changed its appearance due to redevelopment. That happened when I was just in high school. I had a lot of mixed feelings back then, but now I've come to terms with it. I won't forget. Not that park, and not our memories.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
As times change, it's not uncommon for memorable places to change shape. And this park, located in front of a local train station, is also currently being considered for redevelopment.
Hey, Masatoshi. I've liked you ever since back then.
Huh?
What? Isn't that surprising? Well, I suppose it was. I was your best friend after all.
She said she couldn't say a proper goodbye because she liked me. Apparently, she returned from overseas 3 years ago. When she came back to Japan, she finally started looking for me. When she found out I wasn't married, she rushed to set up a matchmaking meeting.
I'm sorry for doing something so underhanded like going through your company, but I wanted to see you, even if it meant cornering you.
Mizuki is unfair. You already know that if you apologize to me with that face, I'll forgive you. Thanks to you, I turned into a nerd and a workaholic, so I hadn't even considered marriage. My coworkers even teased me, saying you're not a real man until you have a family, but it didn't bother me. Gripping the condensation-covered plastic bottle, I wetted my dry throat to hide my embarrassment, when suddenly...
They told you that? Then, I'll make you a real man, Masatoshi. Oh, hey, that's gross, Masatoshi!
It's your fault. She's dignified, beautiful, and somehow still very handsome. With my heart stirred by such a Mizuki, it didn't take long for me to start seeing her in a different light. Now, while I was spending my days like that, Sakata, who had been bragging to me about being married, was showing his dissatisfaction. Damn it, no matter who I ask in the company, I can't get any information. To think that unpopular guy who never had a speck of romance in his life is getting an arranged marriage.
Hey, honey, are you having dinner at home tonight?
I have a big job today, so I'm not sure yet.
I see. Let me know when you find out then.
The big job Sakata mentioned, that was the redevelopment briefing for the area around the station. By the way, the park where Mizuki and I had our date the other day was included in this project. I'll show off to the boss at this meeting and flip the evaluations of Minamoto and myself. Since he couldn't flex on me with his marriage anymore, he apparently decided to fight fair and square with his work. And so, I'd like to say things went smoothly, but...
Do you have any idea that you're about to change our town?
Sakata was being cornered by the landowners and residents gathering for the meeting. It seems he said something to them before the briefing started in an attempt to outsmart me, and that ended up provoking their backlash. Of course. This redevelopment is for the future of your town, after all.
Just dressing up your words won't fool anyone around here.
That's not what I mean. I'm merely pointing out the possibility that the property value of this area will increase. I understand that you all cherish this area. However, there are things that can't be resolved with emotional arguments alone. We have to change with the times. This is a large-scale project. We can't possibly accommodate every individual's opinion.
Emotional arguments? Of course they are. Unlike you, we've lived our lives here. You say you understand, but your claims are just discarding our feelings.
That's why. What's going on? Minamoto? No, I was just trying to explain to everyone. Why is this happening before the briefing has even started?
This representative suddenly approached me, a landowner.
That's because I heard rumors that you were opposing this project, so I thought I should explain things properly. So that's what happened. I'm very sorry, Tsurue. We will have a proper Q&A session later, so I'd appreciate it if we could hear your concerns then.
I see. If you say so.
Sakata, don't rush off on your own like that. Ugh. Why the hell is he getting along so well with the residents? Just as Sakata said, the need for redevelopment in this area is certain, and that is exactly why we must not leave the hearts of the people living here behind. Thoughts and feelings they can't easily let go of are surely rooted in each person's heart. Thinking this, I finished this series of explanations, took a breath, and concluded. Through this redevelopment project, the scenery of this area will change significantly. For those of you who have lived here for a long time, I'm sure there are feelings you can't come to terms with. I used to be on that side too. When my memorable park was about to disappear, a powerless high school kid raised his voice in opposition. Q again? Is the redevelopment business really that slow? To have the free time to bother with just one high school student. Back when the park filled with memories was going to change due to redevelopment, I couldn't immediately accept reality. On my way home from high school, I spent my days reading reference books under the tree where a young Mizuki used to read. There was a young representative from the redevelopment project who came to see me, and compassionately listened to me. Yes, he's the very same boss who's now my superior. That's why I've visited this area many times before this meeting, and talked with the people living here. I met Tsurure during those visits, and we've clashed opinions many times since. The time and memories of everyone who has lived here will not disappear. We want to connect them to the next town for your future lives. Please, let us hear your opinions and your feelings towards this area. As I proceeded to the Q&A session like this, warm applause echoed from the audience. Sakata, your claims and thoughts aren't wrong. Redevelopment is for the future of this area. Yet, do you understand why you provoked the residents' hostility? Sakata probably sees the answer, but the reason he can't say it out loud is because he doesn't want to admit defeat. It's because you only argued for rationality and showed them that you weren't truly looking at their feelings. To the people living in that area, no matter how hard we try, we are outsiders who know nothing. There are countless feelings and histories that we probably can't see, and it's impossible to pick up on all of them. Even so, for the project to proceed smoothly, we must have the cooperation and approval of the people living there. The reason I aimed for this job was because of the boss who completely stood by my side that day when I was in high school. I respect my boss from the bottom of my heart. Wanting to be like him is one of the reasons I'm a workaholic. It's about how much you can stand by them and guide them. It is Minamoto who has rebuilt projects on the verge of disaster time and time again, with his straightforwardness. That is exactly why Minamoto is expected to be the top earner in the company. You should be grateful that your selfish actions didn't cause the project to fall through. I'm very sorry. As a result of trying to outsmart me, he ended up damaging his own reputation while boosting mine, leaving him disheartened. Good work, Sakata. Afterward, the briefing concluded successfully. When I finished work and exited the company building, I found Sakata there, seemingly having just finished a phone call. Are you heading straight home? Be careful today too. Don't get the wrong idea. Huh? You just managed to get on their good side by appealing to their emotions. From my perspective, it's nothing but pretty words. The boss must be surprisingly foolish to praise something like that. I don't know who your matchmaking partner is, but I bet they're just being fooled by that side of you. Are you sulking? Huh? No, I just don't like you. It might sound like pretty words. I guess you wouldn't understand this feeling unless you've experienced losing a place filled with memories. And stop insulting the boss. He's our superior, and he's helped us out countless times. Any boss is the same. It'd be better to have someone else on top rather than a boss who plays favorites with Minamoto. Q, if you say any more, I won't forgive you. Huh, I don't need your forgiveness. It won't bother me one bit. More importantly, when are you going to introduce me to your stupid matchmaking partner? I've got to tell them. Tell them not to be fooled by some half-baked guy who's unpopular with women.
What are you going to tell me?
Huh? Who are you? Sakata's eyes widened at the incredibly handsome person who suddenly appeared. Can you head home now?
Yeah, your boss said he'd head out later. More importantly, I watched you today. As expected of you, you were so cool. I was completely captivated.
Hey, stop that in front of my coworker.
Don't be shy. It's making me embarrassed too.
What the hell, Minamoto? Did you ask the higher-ups to introduce you to a guy because you're unpopular with women? Oh, nice to meet you. I'm Sakata, Minamoto's coworker. Wow, to think you're... Minamoto is a total workaholic. It seems he was in such a rush, thinking he couldn't be a real man without starting a family like me.
You're the one in a rush.
Huh? What?
Nice to meet you. I'm Mizuki Washikawa, Masatoshi's fiancé.
What, Washikawa? You don't mean the Washikawa from that huge financial conglomerate? Yes, incredibly, Mizuki is the daughter of the famous, massive Washikawa conglomerate. I learned the terrifying truth from the profile that I had been teaching a conglomerate's daughter how to play in the mud at the park. The Washikawa conglomerate is rumored to have 3 brilliant brothers.
Yes, I have an older brother and a younger brother. By the way, I'm the only girl right in the middle.
Woman? Mizuki studied desperately from a young age, so she wouldn't lose to her brothers. That hasn't changed even as an adult. When working, she dresses to look like a man at first glance, so she won't be looked down upon. That's why many people in society think the Washikawa siblings are 3 brothers, and apparently, Mizuki even has female fans.
So, you seem to be in quite a rush in life. What kind of punishment would you like? If we were to cut off our investment in this company, I wonder what kind of responsibility you'd be held accountable for.
The Washikawa conglomerate is a massive entity that controls the financial sector. They hold power over companies and businesses through the capital market, including banks, securities, and investment funds. And Mizuki returned to Japan 3 years ago and took on an important position related to real estate investments and urban development funds.
With just one word from me, I could ruin you. Can you apologize to Masatoshi?
I am so sorry. Sakata performed a dogeza, pressing his forehead against the ground. It seemed his opponent was just too big for him.
Well, from my perspective, having watched the briefing today, cutting off our investment is out of the question. Masatoshi saved you. Where's your thank you?
Thank you so much. Oh, Mizuki, I think that's enough.
Ugh, jeez. You're always so kind in the end, Masatoshi. You shouldn't do that, you know. That's why people look down on you. Alright. According to this guy's theory, since you're starting a family, you're a real man now, right? Family, work, and humanity. There isn't a single thing you can beat Masatoshi at anymore. Well, even so, you should at least cherish your wife. After all, she married someone like you.
Despite being told off so harshly, Sakata couldn't talk back at all. He stumbled to his feet, bowed his head to Mizuki, and vanished into the night streets. I'm home. And it was a little past midnight when he finally returned home after drinking his sorrows away. When he got home, his wife was awake in the dark room. Huh? What's wrong? Sitting here without turning on the lights? You could at least say welcome home.
Why should I say that? To someone who can't even text me whether he needs dinner or not?
I thought he was calling his wife outside the company building earlier, but it turned out he was calling a hostess at his usual bar. The cold dinner lined up on the table, and what was colder than anything else was the heart of the wife he supposedly loved. His smartphone, which used to be bombarded with her messages, now had none from her. Without noticing the signs that she was slowly giving up on him, he failed to take care of the family he was so proud of.
I've had enough. I want a divorce.
No way. Please, wait. If having a family makes someone a real man, shouldn't being able to protect it be what truly makes him one? Now let me talk a bit about what happened later. Sakata's blunder outside the company building spread throughout the office, even without Mizuki saying a word. As a result, Sakata was apparently surrounded and severely scolded by the boss and the higher-ups, like the managing directors. "What did you learn at that briefing? I'm truly disappointed in you. I'm hit with a divorce, and now my job. How did it end up like this?" He just couldn't stand the fact that his coworker, who joined at the same time, was constantly being praised, and he probably just couldn't back down. Driven by his shallow pride to somehow beat me, his reputation in the company plummeted, and he severely strayed from the path to promotion he was aiming for.
Mizuki, this book was so interesting. I'm so glad I can read the sequel. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
As for us, ever since we got engaged, Mizuki and my mother have become like reading buddies. My mother always read to me the many books I borrowed from Mizuki, and because of that, she became captivated by the books Mizuki owned. She's overjoyed that she gets to borrow the books she had always wanted to read the sequels to. This isn't the park from that day, but a gentle breeze is still blowing. To think our meeting at that park would connect us like this?
Masatoshi, you look pretty happy.
Yeah, I'm just glad my ball rolled over to where you were that day. You never know what small event in life will impact your future. Even if it's an insignificant event, and even if you unconsciously forget about it, it might connect to your future somehow, growing like branches and leaves, eventually making your life bloom.
Aw, I love that ending statement. You never know if it will branch out and bloom into the future like a butterfly effect. That's really beautiful and true. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone!